Welcome to my class. I'm Ms. Vandana Gupta, Assistant Professor of Mathematics. So today we are going to continue with mutual funds. In the last lectures, we have started with mutual fund. We have seen how to find out the uh, NAV of the mutual fund, what is the meaning of entry load, exit load, how to calculate the number of units, and how to find out the value of the investment. And I think yesterday we started with the gain in mutual fund and one problem we have taken yesterday. So see here, we will start with this now. Already we have started yesterday and one problem also we have taken, but some more problems we will solve. So in mutual funds, there are two types of gains, like in shares. दो तरह से गेन होता है, एक होता है डिविडेंड के थ्रू और दूसरा होता है when you sell your units. Normally जब NAV कम होता है तो मतलब people purchase the units, और जब NAV बढ़ जाता है, increase होता है, तो they redeem their units और this way they earn the profit. Okay. So in mutual funds there are two types of gain. First one is through dividend and the another one is by selling the units. When you sell the units, selling के लिए दूसरा नाम है redeeming. Then you get the amount. So amount is received. When you purchase the unit, you invest the amount. Correct? So amount received, कितना amount आपको मिला, minus आपने कितना amount invest किया, amount invested, that gives you the capital. Other than that, if you are also getting the dividend, then that will become your total. So total gain or profit is equal to capital gain plus total dividend. अगर dividend मिलने से पहले ही आपने redeem कर दिया, तो total dividend will be 0. So in that case, capital gain will be your total profit. Okay. How to find out the percentage gain, percentage profit, percentage return, or rate of return? It is all same. Rate of return or percentage profit is calculated as total gain divided by amount invested into 100. Always it makes sense to express your profit as a percentage because it gives the fair idea that how much percentage profit you have received. Okay. So remember that percentage profit is always expressed as the percentage of amount invested. It is calculated on amount invested. Okay. So what is the meaning of, I have given you just one example to make you understand. 20% profit हुआ. What is the meaning of that? इसका मतलब है कि अगर आपने 100 rupees amount invest किया तो आपको 20 rupees का profit. 20% profit means if amount invested is rupees 100, then the profit is rupees 20. Okay. जैसे आप अपने परसेंटेज बताते हैं ना, HSC में मुझे 70%, मीनिंग व्हाट, अगर 100 मार्क्स है टोटल तो उसमें से आपको 70. तो the percentage always gives you the fair idea that where you stand. Okay? Now that percentage, percentage is out of 100. Okay? So you can say have that the amount invested can be different for different people. Okay, so if you give the profit in terms of percentage, it gives a clear picture. Okay, so 20% profit means if the amount invested is 100, then the profit is rupees 20. Now we will solve the problem. So this problem we have already solved in the last class. So we will skip this and we will go to the next problem. This one. Mr. Akash invested rupees 25,000 in Reliance Mutual Fund on 16th of March 2011 with entry load of 2.25% and NAV of rupees 60.8. He sold all the units on 17th August 2011 when NAV was 72.5 without any exit load. There is no exit load in this one. Find the number of units purchased, total gain, and rate of return. So as usual, we will first read the question and we will write down what is given to us, what is asked to us. Okay. So read the question once again. Mr. Akash invested rupees 25,000. So what is this 25,000? It is the amount invested. So we'll write down here. Given amount invested is 25,000. Now, when the amount is invested, that means the units are purchased. Okay. So this much amount is invested on 16th March with entry load of 2.25% and NAV is 60.8. So NAV at the time of purchase is 60.8. And what is the entry load? 2.25%. Okay. Then he sold the units on 17th August when NAV was 72.5. Look at here. 60.8 से 72.5 हो गया है जब उसने बेचा सेल. NAV at the time of sale is 72.5 without any exit load. That means exit load is 0. Find the number of units purchased, total gain and rate of return. तो यहाँ हमको क्या क्या find out करना है. So this way we have to plan things. Okay. So you have to find out here number of units purchased, this we have to find out total gain, this we have to find out, and rate of return. These are the three things which we have to calculate. Okay. Now you know that to find out number of units purchased, you must know what is the purchase price of one unit, correct? And amount invested is already given to you. So we will first find out purchase price of a unit. So let us calculate the purchase price of a unit. Now purchase price of a unit, as you know that it is NAV plus entry load. What is the NAV at the time of purchase? It was 60.8 and entry load is 2.25%. So 60.8 plus 2.25%. Entry load is always expressed as a percentage of NAV. So 2.25% of 60.8. Calculate that. So write down here 60.8 plus 2.25%. This 2.25 upon 100 into 60.8. This is how you calculate the percentage. So it is equal to 60.8 plus find out 2.25 percentage of 60.8. Use your calculator. Okay. I hope everybody is sitting here with calculator. So calculate this 2.25 multiplied by 60.8 divided by 100. That will give you 1.368. 1.368. When you add it to 60.8, you will get 62.168. 62.16. So this is the purchase price of one unit, correct? Now, how will you find out number of units purchased? Therefore, number of units purchased, you know that it is amount invested divided by purchase price of a unit. Amount invested is how much? You are given that it is 25,000. So amount invested is 25,000 and what is the purchase price? 62.16. Correct? So calculate this. 25,000 divided by 62.168 will give you 402.136. 136. So these many units are purchased. Okay. So we have done the first one, this number of units purchased. Now we have to find out the total gain. To calculate the total gain, what are the things we require? Here, total gain is amount received minus amount invested. See here, total gain. In this problem, there is no dividend. So total gain will be same as capital gain. So amount received minus amount invested. Amount invested is already given to you. You have to find out amount received. So to find out amount received, you must know what is the selling price of 1 unit. Okay. So let us calculate the selling price of 1 unit. Selling price of 1 unit of a unit. How do you calculate the selling price? It is NAV minus exit. What is the NAV when he sold the units? Read the question. He sold the units on 17th August when NAV was 72.5 and exit load is 0. So 72.5. NAV is 72.5 and exit load is not there. It is 0. So that means the selling price of a unit is 72.5. Okay. So you have to find out the amount received. What is the amount received after selling? Amount received after selling the units. How will you find out that कि बेचने के बाद कितना amount मिला? It is selling price of 1 unit multiplied by number of units sold. Selling price of a unit. एक यूनिट का selling price कितना था? Multiplied by number of units sold. This is how you calculate the amount received. So selling price of 1 unit is this much, 72.5. Correct? And how many units were there? Here we have found out the number of units, 402.136. 402.136. This was the number of units, correct? 402.136. So 72.5 into 402.136. So how much you are getting? 29,154.86. 29,154.86. This is the amount received after selling all the units. Okay. It is very simple. Just find out, multiply the selling price of a unit by the number of units sold. Now we have got amount received and amount invested. We already know it is 25,000. So we can find out the total gain. So let us calculate the total gain. Therefore, total gain is equal to, total gain. It is amount received minus amount invested. In this problem, there is no dividend. So amount received we have just calculated. It is 29,154.86. So 29,154.86. And what is the amount invested? It was 25,000. Subtract this 25,000 from 29,154.86 and see what you get. So you get 4,154.86. Yes, 4,154.86. Correct now? So we have found out the total gain. Now you have to find the, what else you have to find? Total gain and rate of return. That also you have to calculate. Rate of return is equal to total gain divided by amount invested multiplied by 100. So what is the total gain? It is 4154.86. And what is the amount invested? It is 25,000. Into calculate. How much? 16.62. 16.619 you are getting. So take only up to 3 decimal places. So 16.62. So that means what is the rate of return? Therefore, rate of return is equal to, as I told you, rate of return is always expressed as percentage. It is equal to 16.62%. If that's final answer. Okay. So you can see that in this problem, there were no dividend involved. Only the units were purchased, and so 25,000 were invested with NAV of 60.8 and the entry load. And then the units were sold without exit load with the NAV of 72.5. Okay. And in all this transaction, how much was the percentage profit or his rate of return? He got 16.62% as the rate of return. Okay. I hope it is clear to you. Okay. So let us now go to the next question. Third question. Radha invested rupees 8,000 and bought 800 units of a mutual fund on 13th. Afterwards, she sold all the units on 20th August when NAV was rupees 17.2 with exit load of 2.5%. Find the profit she earned and also the percentage profit. Look at what is given to you in this question. So read the question and write down what is given to you. Radha invested rupees 8,000. So amount invested is 8,000 and bought 800 units of the mutual. It is also given to you that number of units what we purchased is 800. See, in the previous two problems, we have calculated the number of units. Yahan per already listed. So number of units purchased is 800 and the amount invested is 8,000. So even this problem becomes even more easier. Okay. Now she sold the units on 20th August when NAV was 17.2 and the exit load is 2.5%. So in this problem, exit load is given. Okay. Find the profit she earned and the percentage profit. Okay. So first of all, we will find out the profit. Now to find the profit, what you have to do, amount received minus amount invested. That is the profit, correct? So amount received, you have to find out. Amount invested is already given. Okay, so amount received, receive कब होता है? जब आप sell करते हैं, correct? तो आपको selling price निकालना होता है. Okay, so find out the selling price of a unit. Wait a minute. So, selling price of a unit is what? It is NAV minus exit. What is the NAV? When she sold the units, when she sold, the NAV was 17.2. NAV at the time of sale is 17.2. What is the exit load? 2.5%. So exit load is 2.5% of what? of 17 point. Again and again, I'm telling you, a common mistake which students make. They don't write 2.5%. They just write 2.5. So 17.2 minus 2.5. That is wrong. It is exit load is not 2.5. It is 2.5% of energy. That is 17. So always remember this. 17.2 minus 2.5% of 17.2. This is what you have to calculate. How do you calculate that? 2.5 upon 100 into 17.2. Find out. So 17.2 minus, calculate 2.5 into 17.2 divided by 100. 2.5 into 17.2 divided by 100, that will give you 0.4. Okay. Subtract this from 17.2. So we will get the selling price of 1 unit. So that is 16.77. Okay. So this is not a new thing. So many times we have done that. Okay. Just what you have to do is, you have to just remember that while finding the selling price, exit load has to be subtracted. So you got the selling price of 1 unit. Now, how will you find the amount received? Selling price of 1 unit multiplied by number of units sold. So how many units she was having? 800. She sold all the units. The number of units sold are 800. To find out this amount received. Amount received after selling units. How will you calculate that amount received? It is equal to selling price of a unit multiplied by number of units sold. Correct? So what is the selling price of 1 unit we got here? 16.77. 16.77. And how many units were sold? 800. How much is 16.77 multiplied by 800? That is 13,460. This is the amount received after he sold all 800 units. Okay. Now we have to find out what is the profit she earned and the percentage profit. So what is the profit? Profit is equal to amount received minus amount invested. Correct? There is no dividend in this question as well. Okay. Invested. So what is the amount received? It is 13,416. And what was the amount invested? It was 8,000 minus 8,000. What will you get? 13,416 minus 8,000. That will give you 5,460. So this is the profit. Okay. Correct? What else you have to find out? Find the profit she earned and the percentage profit. Percentage profit. How do you calculate the percentage profit? Percentage profit is equal to whatever the profit she earned divided by amount she invested into 100. So profit earned is 5,416. How much amount was invested? 8,000 into 100. So 5,416 divided by 8,000 and multiplied by 100 will give 67.7. So So the profit percentage is 67.7%. So this much percent profit he has received. So I hope you have understood this. So in this problem, number of units were already given to you. So the problem was slightly not that much lengthier. Okay. I hope you have understood this. So once again, let me just revise it quickly. You were given here that amount invested was 8,000 and 800 units were purchased. Afterwards, she sold the units with NAV of 17.2 and exit load is 2.5%. So here amount invested is already given to you. You have to only find out the amount received. So for that, you must know the selling price of one unit. Selling price of a unit is NAV minus exit. NAV at the time of sale is 17.2 and exit load is 2.5%. So we have found out 2.5% of 17, which comes out to be 0.4. When you subtract it from 17.2, you will get 16.7. See, because you are, though the NAV was 17.2, but because you are paying the load, after selling one unit, you will not get full 17.2. You will get 16.77. Some, I mean, this much will go in the load or like a commission. So 16.77 is the selling price of one unit. And 800 units were there, and she sold all 800 units. So selling price of all the units, that this amount received can be calculated as selling price of one unit multiplied by number of units. So selling price of one unit is 16.77. Number of units are 800. When you multiply, you get this. So now you know the amount received and the amount invested. Subtract amount invested from amount received, you are getting 5,416, and that is the total profit. Okay, then you can find out the percentage profit. It is profit upon amount invested into 100. The profit is 5,416, and amount invested is 8,000 into 100. That gives you 67.7%. I think this question we have already done yesterday, but still if we have time, so we can do it once again. Mr. Sachin invested 30,000 in a mutual fund on 3rd May when its NAV was 66.19. On 5th of March, he received a dividend of, in this problem, dividend is given. And you have to find out what is the total. Units are not redeemed. Only the dividend you have to calculate, assuming that there is no entry. So what is given to you here? Amount invested is 30,000 and NAV is 66.1. And there is no entry load. Entry load is, so, and rate of dividend is given to you. You have to find out what is the dividend he has received. How much dividend is received. So for getting that, you must know dividend का rate क्या है दिया इधर 5 rupees for a unit. एक unit के ऊपर 5 रुपए. So you must know how many units per day. Okay, so we have to find out number of units purchased. So number of units purchased is NAV plus entry load. NAV is 66.11. Entry load is 0. So purchase price of a unit is 66.11. With this, you can find out the number of units purchased. Number of units purchased is equal to amount invested divided by purchase price. Purchase price of a unit. How much amount was invested? 30,000. Okay. Amount invested is 30,000. And what is the purchase price? Purchase price is same as NAV because entry load is 0, 66.11. So 30,000 divided by 66.11. Okay. Correct? 66.11. Okay. Find out this. 30,000 divided by 66.11. How much you will get? 30,000 divided by 66.11. That will give you 453.789. Take up to 3 decimal places. So 453.789. These many units were purchased. So what is the total dividend? how much dividend is received. Dividend का rate क्या दिया है इधर? What is the rate of dividend given to you? It's not given in the form of percentage. It is given ₹5 per unit. यानी एक यूनिट के ऊपर 5 rupees. So how many units are there? Multiply with that. So total dividend is equal to rate of dividend, the dividend on 1 unit, you can say. Dividend on 1 unit multiplied by number of units. Dividend on 1 unit multiplied by number of units. See, in shares, we used to have dividend as a percentage of face value. यहाँ पर dividend is per unit. So 5 rupees is the dividend on 1 unit and number of units are 453.78. When you multiply this, see what we are getting. 453.789 multiplied by 5. 2268.945. So this is the dividend. Yes. Okay, so it's a very simple problem. Find the total dividend, assuming that they will achieve. Okay. So today we have solved the problems. In one of the problem, dividend was we have calculated, this one, last one, and in the remaining problems we have found out the total profit. There were no dividend in those problems and the percentage. Thank you.